I want to recognize, and I apologize, it's a long list of people I want to recognize after what this region endured that actually promoted this legislation. So with your indulgence, from the State House, we have, obviously, Governor Patrick and Secretary Bowles. We have Senator Flanagan, who represents this area. We have our Lunenburg Zone Representative Benson, who covers our district, as well as the other affected districts. We have Representative Stephen DiNatale, Representative Robert Hargraves, and Representative Robert Rice. From the city of Fitchburg, we have Mayor Long in attendance. We have the Fire Chief, Kevin Roy, the Police Chief, Robert DeMora, and we have two council persons, Kevin Starr and Joe Solomito. From the town of Townsend, we have the Town Administrator, Greg Barnes, Select Woman Sue Alicio, Fire Chief, Don Klein, Police Chief Irving Marshall, and Police Lieutenant David Prophet. From the town of Ashby, we have the Chair of the Board of Selectmen, Peter McMurray, and the Town Manager, Linda Sanders. And from our own town of Lunenburg, we have our Town Administrator, Kerry Spidell, or Town Manager, I apologize, our Chief of Police, Dan Bourgeois, our Fire Chief, Scott Glennie, our Superintendent of Schools, Loxley Combs, and a School Committee Member, Milry Keeler. It was approximately, actually to the day, it was 11 months ago today when we all woke up and assessed what the ice storm damage had been on December 12th of 2008. We live in New England, so we are prepared for storms like that. What we were not prepared for, of course, was the aftermath and the ordeal that led to people to be without power for up to 2 weeks and have situations that clearly expose areas of distinct and clear unpreparedness on the part of our utility company, and they clearly put people before we...
Well, first I have to thank the governor for coming here, but also for coming here 11 months ago. You came and saw firsthand the devastation that we experienced, and I think you had a very good understanding of what we were going through, and your intervention saved us from who knows how long. Maybe not till today, but I lived longer without power. I lived down the road. I woke up the day after and was amazed at what I saw. And it was eerily beautiful for a few days. And then it became tragic for so many of us. And I just want to take a moment to recognize there's so many people in this room who really exemplified it takes a village, because we work together to get through this. And our public safety folks are here, and I just want to thank them and give them They were really on the front lines of so much of this, along with shelter workers, elected officials. Our schools were opened, our town personnel gave of themselves day after day after day.
I don't know if you folks know this, but Representative Hargraves is seeking retirement. He's not going to be running for another term, and we're going to miss him certainly in the House of Representatives. But I know he'll find a job, and we're going to call him Hargraves PI, the way he was tracking that Unitil truck. Seriousness, Representative Hargraves, he gave some credit to me, called me the hammer and whatnot, but believe me, he was a jackhammer himself in this bill, and as he's always been known to do, he minces no words. He tells it like it is, and thank God he does. I want to thank the governor for coming here today, certainly Secretary Bowles, Chairman Hibbard, and this is a victory, and it's a win. But this is like the first quarter in a football game, folks. And I speak for the people of Fitchburg when I tell you, we're in this for the long haul. This is just the beginning. We're going to continue to look at legislation that protects you, the ratepayers, you, the citizens of the 4 communities affected, and in particular the city of Fitchburg. This bill brings fairness, accountability, and protections to ratepayers. It's the culmination of many, many months of involved effort by your delegation. The result is an example of good government, working for the benefit of you, the people. That really is what it is, a victory for you, and you should feel really good about it. Your governor, our governor, has been involved from the beginning during those days of darkness And his presence today demonstrates his commitment to all of us.
To Tom Alonso and all of his colleagues here in Lunenburg, thank you for the warm welcome, and to all of the local officials, Madam Mayor, the town administrators, and the public safety officials, thank you for being here today and for holding it together. I saw what happened here, but you lived it and managed it, and I'm grateful to you, and I honor all of your service. In some respects, the hammer has already been described. You know, last December, a brutal storm dumped sheets of ice all across central Massachusetts, western, northeastern regions of the state. Trees staggered and toppled onto power lines in so many cities and towns, leaving a blanket of darkness and cold that, as Jen said, was charming at the beginning, but got old real quick. Food spoiled. People started their wood stoves and they found their flashlights and so on, but there were public safety and human safety concerns all across this region. And day after day, while people waited for information from Unitil in particular, information was slow to come, if any came at all. This is unacceptable in a civilized community. It's unacceptable in a modern community, and it's not going to be tolerated ever again. Throughout this ordeal, utility companies, especially Unitil, failed the public. They demonstrated over and over again a lack of preparedness in the days leading up to the storm, and they failed to provide safe and reliable service in the aftermath. Our administration and the Department of Public Utilities launched a thorough investigation after the storm to really document what you had already experienced and what you knew, and found that the company had insufficient planning and training for a storm of this magnitude, and that the response was sorely lacking. But apart from considering their shortcomings when they asked for their next rate increase, there was little government could do. That all changes in a few minutes. And in that respect, I think special thanks have to be given to this extraordinary legislative delegation. Senator Flanagan, Representative Benson, Representative Rice, Representative Hargrave, Representative DiNatale, each of them working with their colleagues and listening to you, built the framework for this legislation, gave us the tools, and frankly gave you, in local government, the tools, so that you, the ratepayers, would be safe, and so that utilities would be held accountable going forward. I don't mean to pick on just Unitil. Don't think of this as the Unitil bill. This is the ratepayer safety bill, in my view. And any utility that fails to serve the public appropriately, safely, and responsibly will feel those consequences. And so I am proud to be here with all of you. I'm proud to be here with Secretary Bowles, who is uncommonly shy today and does not want to vote, and with the Commissioner to sign this bill and to set a new day and a new tone and a new sense of reliability, I hope, in how we deal with utilities all across the Commonwealth. Thank you very much.